Trinidad and Tobago's National Security Minister pleads with prison officers not to walk off the job. And in sport, Jamaica Reggae Girls become the first Caribbean team to reach the FIFA Women's World Cup. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, October 18. I'll be back with the details after the break. Trinidad and Tobago's National Security Minister Stuart Young is pleading with prison officers to stay on the job after angry and frustrated officers threatened to stay off the job because their cries for protection have gone unanswered. Yesterday afternoon, hours after another prison officer was killed, the second for the month and the fifth for the year, President of the Prison Officers Association, Sharon Richards, said his members had enough and the body would support any officer who walked off the job. But Minister Young wants them to hold strain. We get more in this report from Fane Richards of TV6 News.
Mr. Young says his ministry will respond to any request from the Prison Service Executive for reinforcements.
And as the Minister of National Security, certainly not going to stand by and watch our prisons not be safe and secure, and that prisoners who are in those prisons not kept in the manner that they're supposed to be kept.
He declined to say, though, which agencies the ministry would tap into to supplement manpower. Minister Young is also defending Superintendent Wayne Jackson was murdered on October 2nd, but he says there needs to be clarity on the purpose of that operation.
There has been no dragging of feet. A couple of weeks ago, a meeting was called along with the other heads of security agencies, and an interagency team has been put in place. An interagency team had been put in place to assist the prison officers in terms of the securing of the prisons themselves. That is not going to provide for outside of the prisons and at the particular homes of various security officers.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has signaled that amendments will soon be made to anti-gang legislation to help police dismantle criminal gangs. Speaking in the House of Representatives, he said a committee has been named to conduct a review of the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act. Now, Holness said the Ministry of National Security will work with the committee to determine what changes are needed.
Shortly, the Minister of National Security should be calling the committee to start the review of the legislation. So I think, Mr. Speaker, we have a fairly comprehensive strategy. I'm not going to say to you it is a perfect strategy, but I repeat the point that the greatest outcome of proceeding like this is to demonstrate to the country that we have a unified position against crime. Though there might be differences at the frills of the policy, but at the core of the policy, criminals cannot find succor in any one political organization. Once we approve, it is clear that criminals everywhere will come under the direct scrutiny and arm of the government.
The anti-gang legislation passed in 2014 seeks to prohibit individuals from establishing a criminal organization, taking part in or participating in a criminal organization, providing or obtaining a benefit from a criminal organization, and harboring or concealing a participant in a criminal organization. Venezuela is abandoning the US dollar with all future transactions on the Venezuelan exchange market to be made in euro. The country's vice president for Economy, Tarek El Assami, made the announcement saying that recent sanctions introduced by the U.S. against Venezuela block the possibility of continuing to trade using the U.S. dollar on the Venezuelan exchange market. Now, El Assami says Venezuela's floating exchange rate system, DICOM, will be operating in euro, yuan, or other convertible currency and will allow the foreign exchange market to use any other convertible currency. He added that all private banks in Venezuela are obliged to participate in the DICOM bidding system. The vice president says government will sell 2 billion euros between November and December to allow the public to purchase the European currency at a real non-speculative rate. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Yeah, luggage is over with. Yeah, luggage is over with. How much I must pay?
No, you can't do it like that. You'll have to take some of the things out of the suitcases and put in a box or something.
You know, you're a wicked woman. A wicked fat woman.
Do you want a boxer?
Box me, no? Things that you're helping me strike me. Try a box.
Barbados, it's time to laugh again. Get yourselves ready for the Caribbean's funniest men and women. Fast Promotions Annual Caribbean Comedy Explosion. Saturday, October 27th, Sir Garfield Sobers Gymnasium, 8 p.m. Get your early bird tickets now and pay $60 before all are sold out at ticketlinks.com. All Ticket Links outlets nationwide. Jeans Inc. Sheraton, CS Pharmacy, Rubis Wildy, and Eddie Supermarket Spikestown.
I come in here as a loner. I know you spot me from far.
Jamaica's Reggae Girls created history yesterday by becoming the first Caribbean team to reach the FIFA Women's World Cup final. This after they defeated CONCACAF giants Panama 4-2 on penalties at the Toyota Stadium in Texas. The Jamaicans took an early lead in the 13th minute before Natalia Mills scored a late equalizer for Panama, but the Jamaicans pulled back one in extra time with Jody Brown's goal in the 95th minute. The Central Americans again equalized with Lynette Sendeno's goal in the 115th minute. This is the second time Jamaica is heading to a World Cup final. The first time was when the men's squad participated in the World Cup for the first time in France back in 1998. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago's team manager is blaming off-field issues and lack of preparation for the team missing out on a chance to qualify for the World Cup finals.
Manager of the women's football team, Janelle James, has blamed the poor preparation for the national team's exit from the CONCACAF leg of Women's World Cup qualifiers. She says that the issues of the field affected their performance throughout the competition.
I think a week of camp that was requested would have made a world of difference because the girls were ready and they were prepared in spite of whatever shortcomings otherwise. But had that week of camp happened, I think the outcome and the attitude would have been completely 100% different.
James said the team is not always able to cope with the pressure, and the lack of preparation coupled with issues off the field took a toll on the players.
It takes a lot to come again and be treated in the same fashion. It becomes almost it's exhausting, and it's a lot for them to pull themselves out again, you know. At certain points, I would have players ask, like, why are we being treated like this?
James added.
That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.